just use whichever one you have leveled up the most. Then we have status effects. These are the statuses that you can have in the game. These are the good ones. Safety. Instead of safety level from the last game where you would live with 1 HP, this would recover you from a KO status with 50% of your HP. Best ally is the same thing except full HP. Recover HP is regen. Recover EP is also like regen, but it recovers your EP slowly with each turn. Recover break recovers your break limit gauge slightly with each turn. Quick increases your agility by 25%. Offensive increases both your physical and ether attack power. Defensive increases both your physical and ether defense. Notice that there's no downside to using those in this game. You can stack those on top of each other and it would work just fine. Balance up increases your accuracy and evasion. Boost up increases the rate at which your gauge for your boost fills up. Break up increases your break damage. Absolute critical means everything will be a critical hit. Null physical is awesome. No more physical damage for you. Null break, no more break damage for you. Attack up and defense up, very similar to offensive and defensive. Physical and ether attack power goes up a lot more though, if memory serves me correctly. That's what they're trying to say. Yeah, increases more, and I don't believe it can be taken away from you as easily. So attack up and defense up. That's the way you want to go. Absolute evasion. This is more or less what I was doing at the end of Xenosaga episode 2. You just dodge everything. Absolute guard. You always guard, which is usually about half damage. Absolute revenge. Revenge will be performed against all attacks. I believe that is a counter boost type thing. Then we have absolute counter, where it's a physical attack when you get hit. Then we have Omega Fist. The Omegas are a little weird. I'm not that big of a fan of them. I might use them though, but I don't like their mechanics. The physical attack power increases when an attack is guarded. So if you're guarding and they hit you, then your physical attack goes up. Omega Soul, same thing, except your ether attack. Omega Skin, same thing, except it's physical defense. Omega Mind, same thing, but ether defense. And it lasts until the end of the battle. Well, pretty much all of them last until the end of the battle, unless it's a long battle. All right, next up we have the bad statuses. There are a lot of these. Not all of them are going to be that important. However, this first one is. This is Break. A character or enemy becomes unable to attack or defend for 2 turns and has a greater chance of taking critical damage. So we want to inflict break on our enemies. You do this just by dealing normal damage to them. And the downside of that is that normal damage to you will inflict break on you. Then we have Heat. The enemy will attack only the caster. This is a tank style move, a crowd control style move, where you cast it. Somebody like Kanan or Ziggy, your tank type characters, they will cast Heat, and then the enemies will always hit them. It's a good move if you use it properly. Poison. This is why it's so harsh. 20% of your maximum HP each turn. So 5 turns, and you have 1 HP left. It's not pretty. You want to deal with poison. Fist down, physical attack down, soul down, ether attack down, skin down, physical defense down, mind down, ether defense down. Balance is accuracy and evasion. Slow, down by 25%, your agility there. Seal tech, no more tech skills. Seal ether, no more ether skills. Seal boost, no more boost. Crystallize, this one is new and important and not self-explanatory. A character is unaffected for 2 turns. On the 3rd turn, the character becomes crystallized, shatters, and cannot be revived for the remainder of the battle. Can be cured before the battle shatters, or before the character shatters with the anti-crystal item. This is similar to Petrify or Stone from the Final Fantasy franchise, where there's kind of a countdown on your character, and once that countdown is over, your character is more or less gone. You do not want to allow your characters to be crystallized. You can build up an immunity to this using items, but it is still pretty damn nasty. Repetitive use of the G vaccine on your character will increase the resist G levels and build up the resistance to effects of crystallization. Then we have the Hilbert. This one is awesome. This is something that will inflict, it'll inflict on machine and gnosis enemies only, not biological enemies, but it will inflict fist down, mind down, skin down, soul down, and slow. It is a damn good thing to have cast on your enemies. Then we have F-Mine, a time bomb that explodes after 4 turns, causing significant damage. Can be canceled with a couple things. Then we have Curse. Curse is, in this game, the damage dealt is also taken by the attacker. No effect when the HP is at 1. And we're good to go. That is kind of a basis of the battle system. Notice that there are no event slots in this. We don't have to worry about that in this game. We just have to worry about something else that they haven't introduced yet. Now we're going to get an explanation on boosts and techs and finish strikes. This is what I was talking about before. Boosts work very similar to the way that they did in the last game. Here you can see Kanan and his knife. He does indeed have a knife. When you cause damage, the gaze in the upper right of the screen fills. When it reaches 100%, your boost count increases by 1. Holding down the R buttons and selecting one of the buttons down there will boost to that character. It gives them the turn next, unless there's an exception. But for the most part, they will get the next turn. However, you might want to save them for special attacks. Characters may use their special attacks by consuming boost. Attack-type special attacks gain levels after multiple uses, enabling them to do more damage. If you finish off an enemy with a special attack, this is very important, a finish strike will occur and the experience points, skill points, and credits will be increased by 50%, 1.5 times. So if I finish them off with a special attack, which I want to do a lot because it not only gives me more experience, skills, and money, but it also levels up the more that I use it, so I want to finish off enemies with this all the time. I don't have to worry about event slots, I don't have to worry about that skill slot turn, but I do have to worry about getting special attacks. Yeah, and then there's more details in the tutorial. Alright, let's see what I can do. I don't have enough boost to do anything yet. I need 2 boosts in order to use Shion's special attack. And she is the only one with a special attack. She is the only one with it. Alright, down they go. Down they go. Almost up to the next level. Almost. Get a couple med kits out of that. I will take it. And more database, but it's essentially the boost. We'll go over that once again just in a little bit, because I want to go over a couple of the tutorial stuff at a time instead of just one every time. Shatter all of this glass down here, and now it's safe to run across. And then we can head this way. I'm just going to head left first. It always works out well for me. Where we can find another nano repair M. Now we can head this way and get to that chest we saw earlier. You do have to face the front of the chest. And here we can get 300 more gold, which they call credits, even though there's a G on it. Alright, so nowhere else for us to go except to get a back attack on this guy. Explanation of back attacks. You get a back attack if you sneak up behind somebody. The enemy's action is delayed by 1 turn and your critical hit rate increases. You get criticals, they cannot evade, and they have to wait a turn. Don't let them sneak up on you from behind, or this will happen to you. It's pretty simple. We're going to keep on leaving this stuff in for the time being. See there, we finally get a critical when it didn't matter. I am up to 2 boosts, unfortunately. Shion's the only one with a special attack. Yeah, these battles are easy for a reason. We do get a scrap iron out of this. Once again, they're just meant to be sold. Alright, couple things in the database. Let's try to go through them quickly. we're halfway through the tutorial. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, boost. As I said before, once it hits 100%, you get a boost level. You can only get up to 3. I need 2 for a special attack, but just 1 will be enough to get somebody their turn next. Here they actually give you a detailed explanation on how to raise it. If you hit the attack normally, then you get 20% of that boost gauge full. If the attack is guarded, then you only get 10%, and if it misses, then you don't get anything on the boost gauge. You do not get anything in the boost by using a special attack, because then you could just use special attacks all the time. So, unfortunately, they did think of that, which is good, but it would have made things so much easier for me. You can only have 3 on your boost limit normally, but there is equipment that will increase that. And then you can find out about how much the special attack costs. Like I said, for Shion's Break Bash, it uses 2, so I'm going to have to use that. All right, then there's a counter boost. They have had this in the previous games. The enemies are the only ones that can use it in this game. We did have a chance to use it in the last game, but we're not going to get a chance this game. At least that's what the game tells us now. If you hit an enemy, sometimes they will just get a move because they're upset at you, and it won't consume one of their boost levels, because the enemy does have boost levels as well. It can be quite annoying. Special moves, they're special moves. You have to have the certain amount of boost that you need. There are some special attacks that will only increase in level through the absorption of biological or gnosis type enemy souls. This is unique. Souls can be absorbed only through the defeat of an enemy by one of the soul absorbing special attacks. In other words, you have to kill the enemy with your special attack in order to absorb their soul, in order to level up your special attack. And I want my souls. Now we have Finish Strike. You kill an enemy with a special attack. Simple enough. Back Attack. As I said, I went over all the stuff that you need to. It takes 1 turn to recover from a back attack. You cannot evade, and you're more susceptible to criticals when you are back attacked. Speaking of which, I think they will give me the opportunity to get a back attack here. Wait for it. Sneak up behind him.
Don't underestimate me.
That totally counts. We're not getting anything new here. Maybe I missed the chance to use the special attack already. Don't get a critical. Damn it. I wasted a chance to use the Break Bash. Next time. Ooh, we have acquired Heat for Kaden. That is, I believe, an ether for him. We can only see it in status because you can't use it outside of battle. There it is, Heat. Set the target for all enemies to self. We kind of went over that status before, but we do get a chance to see the actual ether. Speaking of things that I do want to change, though, let's change Shion's Pearl Wear for the Vector uniform. As you can see, it is a lot better. This is what we got for our Xenosaga 2 clear data. It has a vitality and ether defense of 3, but it does have a break limit of 120. Special armor that changes the character model as well. So we are going to change that. It does actually change what it looks like on the field. She's now in her Vector uniform from Xenosaga Episode 1. Strangely enough, we had to get Xenosaga Episode 2 clear data to get her Episode 1 uniform. We will move. When we get into battle, I will show you that she is indeed wearing glasses with this. You can't really make it out here, though. So this is Sector 3. Vector's S-Line division is comprised of 5 sectors, so I guess we're at a halfway point. Let's hurry. I wouldn't say it's a halfway point, but what do I know? All right, so now we're going to run around with Shion in her Vector uniform. We will be doing this quite a bit. She does change the uniform from time to time. Is there anything down here? No, there's not. This place is kind of weird. I have no idea where we are anymore. Not that I really ever did, but this place is especially weird for me, and especially weird to run around in. By pressing the switch, we can make more platforms appear. We want to go up this way first. And here we can find An update file, our first update file. It will update your database. That's its point. And I will be filling out this database. We're already to 9%. Cultural seems to be the theme of this update file, and it's full of stuff. We'll try to go through this relatively quickly, but I'm gonna have to read all of them. The Carnegie Structure Law. Basic theory that systemized the method to construct a virtual space within the UMN. Conceived by the mathematician Carnegie, who was the head of Vector Industries Administration and Operations at the beginning of 4400 TC. So that was a while ago, over 300 years ago. After its formulation, all virtual spaces were constructed based on this structure law, except under special cases. Many believe that this theory advanced the research on virtual space by a century. The structure law was named after Carnegie to honor his achievement. However, details on how he reached this theory were never disclosed. There are rumors that the theory was completed with help from leaders of Vector, but the truth is shrouded in mysteries. I have no idea what they're talking about because I don't know what the law is. All right, geodesic structure. We have seen this one before. For those of you that don't know what a geodesic dome looks like, you can Google the Epcot Center. If you know what that looks like, that's a geodesic dome. And all geodesic domes look like that. Geodesic construction was invented by American architect Buckminster Fuller, I believe in the early 1900s. It is a method of building domes wherein regular icosahedrons, I'm not familiar with that word, approximating spheres are overlaid with a network of many equilateral triangles. To visually represent the basic makeup of the superstructure UMN, it is often referred to as a geodesic dome, hence the term. So the geodesic structure, that is what the UMN looks like. Then we have dive. We've done this. Describes the act of accessing virtual space or another person's mental world via the UMN. If entering the encephalon, the full term is encephalon dive, but this is generally shortened to dive. Then we have direct approach, also known as a dive. This describes the act of breaking the link between two parties connected via virtual seat VR 2000 and directly transferring a consciousness into a target's encephalon. This is commonly called a dive for short. However, directly intruding in another person's consciousness is a high-risk proposition. The memories of a person with whom a past time and place were shared may resonate, and there is always the danger that one's sense of self versus other will become lost, and that the border between the real world and the imaginary one will blur. It doesn't sound good at all. Why do we do this? Next up, we have the transfer system, with a good picture of Cosmos from the first game. Transport technology that uses gate jump technology with the UMN to transfer goods to remote locations. Because Cosmos's weapon system include the capability, she doesn't need to lug around oversized weapons like those giant miniguns that she has. They can simply be transported from the storage facility as needed. However, only goods with static data can be directly transferred. Theoretically, life forms with fluctuating data can be transferred directly, but is more or less impossible given the major mental and physical difficulties that can arise. Remember, in the last game, we found out that they were trying to transfer alive things through the transfer system, and it didn't work out well, and a lot of people died. To transfer living things, one must use a spaceship equipped with the appropriate system. Why the appropriate system can exist in a spaceship but not in the system itself, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what they're saying.